This past week, we got a payload of gaming news and information. While it's not quite E3 season yet, a couple new games were announced along with a Nintendo Direct showcasing a bunch of indie titles set to release in the future. So, considering this, I'm gonna speed round this video. Let's go. First and most importantly, Dead Island 2, the sequel to one of the best zombie invasion action games of the 2010s, just released. If you're unfamiliar with this game series, you take control of one of the several characters who are immune to the zombies, and you have to save as many people as you can from the huge zombie invasion. Perfect for when you want that Mortal Kombat gore in the form of an action game. If you're on the fence about this kind of game, go watch Corey Kenshin, who just came back from the content gulag and released a video on it. The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom just released a new trailer where we got to see Link using his 4 new abilities, him fighting with the descendants of the 4 champions, and we finally got to see the design of Ganondorf. And let me tell you, he broke the internet. Keep in mind, this is the first time we've seen Link, Zelda, and Ganondorf since Twilight Princess, which was 17 years ago. This was a long time coming. Accompanying the trailer, we also got news of the new Splatfest coming up the week of May 5th through the 7th. Courage versus power versus wisdom. For those uninitiated, courage, power, and wisdom represent the 3 pieces of the Triforce, basically part of the reincarnation prophecy of The Legend of Zelda. Link will always have courage, Zelda will always have wisdom, and Ganon and Ganondorf will always seek power. For me, it was a tough choice between courage and wisdom. I flipped between these two for a few hours, but eventually I decided wisdom was the right path for me. Not only that, but we're also getting a new tricolor turf war map in the shape of the Triforce specifically for this event, in which there won't be a defending team, and instead the match will become a free-for-all. Nintendo also released new merchandise specifically for this event, although the designs are taken straight from Twilight Princess, but either way, new designs for your wardrobe. Check it out, check it out. Hey, new Zelda merch, let's go. This isn't new, but I'm willing to rock Zelda merch all the time. And if you live in Japan or order merch from Japanese websites, you'll get some exclusive Zelda merch from the Nintendo Tokyo and Osaka stores. Speaking of Nintendo, we also got to see the reveal of the Pyra and Mythra amiibos that you can use for Xenoblade Chronicles, Smash Ultimate, and any other niche games that may accept them. Moving on to Nintendo's Indie Direct, we saw several new announcements along with some DLC trailers for previously released indie games. Overall, the Direct was 20 minutes of relatively tame time passers. Nothing groundbreaking. I'm not going to go into detail about many of the new games featured, but there are a couple of games I saw that interested me, including Rift of the Necrodancer, a spin-off of Crypt of the Necrodancer, featuring a whole new aesthetic and way of playing the game. Something more akin to Guitar Hero. Cult of the Lamb is getting a new update featuring a bunch of new items and a permadeath mode. Teslagrad is getting a sequel in the form of Teslagrad 2. I hadn't heard anything about this game series until this Direct, and from the looks of it, it seems like a pretty well-made platformer. Blasphemous 2 is much the same story, seems indicative of Castlevania, so if action platforming is your thing, these two might be up your alley. Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, the spiritual successor to Jet Set Radio, also saw a small trailer, more like a reminder, where we got a release date, being August 18th of this year. Jet Set Radio fans rejoice. Also, the team has been putting out music from the OST, where Hideki Naganuma, the composer of Jet Set Radio Future, Sonic Rush, and Sonic Rush Adventures soundtracks, has been putting his talent to work for this game. Genuinely, some of the grooviest music I've heard in years. Most other games are set to release this fall or next year, so I would encourage watching the Direct for more details and to see any games I didn't include. And finally, the internet broke again with the first big trailer of the game Unrecord, an insanely detailed FPS game with photorealistic textures and models. It was so real that most of the internet was fooled about it being a game, mistaking it for a recording or a bunch of recordings, but the creators posted a video of them navigating the game engine. As far as I know, this game is legit. It's an interesting concept where you control the character's hands instead of the camera. The camera simply responds to your character's hand movements. The game is available for wishlist on Steam right now. Speed round over. Go play Splatfest. Team Wisdom for the win. Let's go!